And for example, if you would like date a guy from a different country, do you think like for example if the guy don't speak English really well, that would be a problem for you, or you could like deal with it? How did it happen? Like, can you explain a bit?
We were roommates. Yeah, they're more gentleman-y. Yeah, I think the standards have dropped a bit in England.
Damn it, guys! Today I'm going to be asking British girl if they would date a foreigner. So that's the question we're going to ask. So buckle up, I think it's going to be super interesting because a lot of you guys have been asking me to ask that question, if British girl would date a foreigner or not. So I think you're going to find out a lot of good stuff. As usual guys, you can follow me on my Instagram just down below. If you want to comment, if you want to like ask me a question directly, you can do it. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe guys. And let's do it guys, alright? Come on. Amazing, so I'm here with, what's your name?
It's Ella.
It's Ella. Ella, wow, that's pretty original. So basically today you are asking British girl if they would date like a foreigner. So what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, it's not if they're foreign, it's if they're nice or like funny or not a creep. Where you come from doesn't affect my decision.
Have you like ever dated like a foreigner man? Have you ever like tried?
They've like originated from somewhere else, but they've been like born and raised in England. I've been on dates with foreign men.
Dates?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like when I've been on holiday.
Fair enough. And for example, like if a guy don't speak English really well, that would be a problem for you? If you don't speak English really well? Or will you be able like to deal with it?
I mean, it depends. Like, if you literally can't communicate with each other, communication is a big thing in a relationship. So if you can't communicate, there's a bit of an issue there. But if you can find a way around it, then sure. It's more about the person than where they're from.
All right.
Yeah.
And you mentioned like you dated like, you know, foreigner like in a holiday.
Yes.
What's the differences between like British guy and like a foreigner? There is some differences?
Yeah, they're more gentleman-y. Yeah, I think the standards have dropped a bit in England.
Damn it, guys, what are you doing? And where they were from, basically, the guy you dated, like?
Spain and France.
Guys, French, we are good. No, so that's good for us. Amazing. And like in the future, you think you would love to like maybe get married to like a foreigner guy?
Sure. I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I think there's a lot to learn from people from different cultures and backgrounds. So I think it can be a nice synergy going on there.
And last question. Sure. Is there like any maybe like a nationality you wouldn't date?
No.
No?
No.
Everyone like it's open?
Yeah, like I say, it depends what the person's like. You could be a dick from England, like I'm not gonna go out with you. You could be a dick from France, I'm not gonna go out with you. But you could be so nice from wherever you are in the world. If you match, you match. You can't help it.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for the interview. It was great to meet you. Amazing. So I'm here with, what's your name?
Tamara.
Tamara. Wow, pretty original. So basically today you are asking British girl if they would date like a foreigner man. So what's your opinion about it? What's your take?
So I already am. My boyfriend is Chinese and we met in Sheffield and he's back in China now.
Oh, super interesting.
Yeah, so at the minute it's long term and it's very strange with the different cultures.
Okay, and how did it happen? Like, can you explain a bit?
We were roommates.
Wow, all right. Pretty interesting. And because, you know, we met so many Chinese people in Sheffield, so he had like a good English level as well?
Not at the start. He had enough to study here, but casual conversation wasn't very good.
All right.
So I taught him.
That's amazing. So for you, it wasn't like a big problem if like he wasn't like really fluent in English, it was all right?
Not really, because I'm not really a talkative person. So we just kind of vibes awesome. And activities and all that stuff.
That's awesome. And it's the first time you are dating like a guy from a different country than the UK?
It's the first time I'm dating a guy, so...
Okay. My question was like, what's the differences between like a Chinese guy and a British guy, for example?
Well, I've done some relationship advice, so I'd say there's it's hard to explain, but with their culture, obviously, they're very respectful of their families and everything. So whilst I'm kind of distant from my family, so I don't mind moving over there to China, but for him, he could never move here.
You miss family too much?
I wouldn't miss my family. I mean, they'd miss me. But I don't mind. For me, it's just traveling to China. So I don't mind it. But for his family, it would be too much for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to China?
No.
Right. So you'll go there soon because I heard on the news that China has lifted all the restriction.
Yeah, so I'm just finishing my final year now. And I've already done this teaching course. So I'll be teaching over there to start off with.
So your goal is to teach like English in China?
It's all I know how to teach at the moment, so English.
All right. And you have like any message to your boyfriend maybe he's going to watch? In Chinese, maybe if you can speak a bit Chinese?
老公，爱你。
Oh, that's awesome. So you can speak Chinese as well?
A little bit.
A little bit?
They say that I can speak baby Chinese, so I just feel like a baby right now.
Pretty cool. Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. It was lovely to meet you. What's your name?
Vienna.
Vienna.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. So basically today you are asking girls
Right.
if they would date like a friend or man.
Okay.
So what's your take on that?
I definitely would. I think it's really interesting to learn about other people's
Yeah.
cultures, and I think it would make an interesting dynamic.
Right.
And yeah, I think it'd be fun to share stuff from
Okay.
like your home.
Have you ever dated like a guy from a different country?
Yes, I dated someone in high school from Jamaica before. So yeah. Yeah.
What was the experience like?
It was really fun. I'm German, and my family is really strong in that. So we would invite him over, and we'd have German dishes. And then when I'd go over to his house, he would share some of his just Jamaican culture with me, which is really fun.
That's really cool. And for example, if you would date a guy from a different country, do you think for example, if the guy don't speak English really well, that would be a problem for you, or you could deal with it?
I think that I would make an effort to speak whatever language he spoke, and he would make an effort to speak. It would be like a 50-50. We'd go back and forth, and it'd be difficult, but we could figure it out. It's not that serious.
That's pretty fun. That's amazing. It was amazing to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Basically today you are asking British girl if they would date like a friend or man. So what's your take on that question?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have you ever dated like a guy not from the UK?
Yeah, a Swedish guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you explain us exactly a bit how it was?
I mean, I don't think a person is defined by where they're from or anything. So I think it's just based on connection anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Him being from somewhere else, it was just harder to kind of meet up with him. But also, we ended up meeting up in Copenhagen and having weekends away. So it became more adventurous in a sense.
And you think what are the differences between a British guy and a Swedish guy, for example?
I think maybe a few cultural differences, but he was older as well, so that probably played some part into it as well. But yeah, it was great. It was good fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And for example, if you date a guy that isn't speaking English really well, do you think it would be a problem for you, or you could deal with it?
No, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a blessing to be able to learn a different language and how you communicate with someone. That's the most important thing in any kind of relationship. Communication is the main thing, especially if you're going beyond barriers and your own barriers to create something with someone.
And for example, with the Swedish guy, did you learn Swedish a bit? You learned some words?
No, he was incredibly well spoken English, so we kind of just got by in English. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And you have any message to the camera, any message to the viewers?
Communication in any relationship is the main thing, and if you can get through that, then it really doesn't matter as long as you're being honest.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Olivia, for the introduction. Perfect. So I'm here with, what's your name?
Katerina,
Caterina. That's lovely. And where are you from?
Portugal.
Portugal. Wow, super cool. So basically today we are asking girls if they would date guys from a different country than their own. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think so. Once I'm actually foreign, anyway.
Okay.
I would definitely.
Have you ever dated a guy which is not from Portugal?
No.
No. Okay, so you only went for Portuguese guy, right?
Well, yeah. Until this moment, yeah.
Until this moment.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't met any guy that's foreign that I actually really like. But I only moved in May last year, so we'll see.
And you think like, you know, if you date like a foreigner guy or British guy, you think what's the differences you think like for like if you compare like Portuguese guy and British, what's the differences you think?
I don't know, it's just different personalities. I don't really know how to explain it, I think. They like different things. But I think it's more about personality in general.
Right.
I don't really care if they're foreign or not. If I like their personality,
It doesn't really matter to you, right?
yeah.
Well, if you date like a guy, I don't know, from let's say from like Germany, and the guy cannot speak English well, you think that could be a problem, or you could deal with it?
Depends if we can communicate minimally or not.
Alright.
Because obviously I don't speak like perfect English either. So yeah, either we would help each other or yeah.
Good challenge.
I think so, yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Well, if you like them, just give it all, I think.
By the way, I'm super surprised because you have an amazing English. Your accent, it's perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where did you learn English, by the way? How did you learn English?
Well, I studied in like an international course in Portugal. So basically I would have all my subjects in English. Like I would have biology in English or maths in English. Yeah. And then I applied to the university and yeah,
Amazing.
now I'm here.
Amazing to meet you. Yeah,
nice
super
to
cool.
meet you
Super
too.
cool. Amazing. So I'm here with, what's your name?
Susie.
Susie, wow,
Yeah.
nice to meet you. So basically today we are asking British girl if they will be open down to date like a foreigner guy.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Have you ever dated like a guy that is not from the UK, for example?
And I dated an Irish guy. I don't know if that counts.
Counts, yeah.
Does that count? I don't know if the.
Counts.
Yeah.
And what are the differences?
Oh, actually,
Yeah?
Australian. Yeah. I dated an Australian guy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the UK or like in Australia?
In Australia. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. And how it was? Can you explain us a bit?
It was a bit complicated, obviously, because I live here. But yeah, no, it was kind of fun.
Fun?
Yeah.
In which sense? Like you're traveling a lot or like in which sense?
Yeah, and traveling, but also just like different cultures. It was kind of, he was just different to English guys, I guess.
Right, and what are the differences basically between like a British guy and an Australian guy?
They have mullets.
You like that?
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Well, they do different things. They're a bit more mature, I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
And for example, if you date like a guy that have some difficulties speaking English, do you think it will be a problem for you or you could deal with it?
I think I could do the kind of language barrier thing. I've always wanted to learn a language, so
Alright.
You
Which
know.
one would you like to learn?
French mainly, a bit of Spanish.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. So thank you very much. Hopefully you will enjoy it. We've done our best to get the best content possible, asking British girls. I think we've done a fairly good job, you know, there's some really interesting bits. So guys, if you enjoy the video, smash the like button because it helps us a lot to keep on going with those videos. If you have any comment, question you want me to ask, feel free to do so. It was lovely, girls, to meet you. If you watch the video, every girl watching the video that I speak to today, it was awesome to meet you. So big up to you. And yeah, I'm gonna see you on the next one, guys, alright? Peace.